Over the past few weeks, we have covered a lot of information regarding the Hynek scale of close encounters. We covered close encounters of the first kind, which is your standard seeing something you can not explain in the sky. We have covered close encounters of the second kind, which is when somebody sees a UFO land and it leaves some kind of trace that it had landed or something unexplained had landed. We even covered close encounters of the third kind, which is where people experience a UFO and see the occupants of said craft, but yet they're not abducted. And we talked a lot about all three of those. Those are the three main ones that J. Allen Hynek sort of cultivated during his time in the UFO field, more specifically after he had left Project Blue Book and struck out on more of an independent investigator than working for the Air Force. That's when he created the Hynek scale. First, second, and third kind are definitely his creations. The fourth kind is his creation, though he didn't really subscribe quite as much to it. And that's what we're going to talk about, close encounters of the fourth kind today. So, even though J. Allen Hynek never really publicized the usage of the phrase alien abduction, Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind is exactly that. And he did do some investigations regarding Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind during his life while he was a UFO investigator, but they were never really called alien abductions, even though they were in the phrase taken or captured was more times than not often bandied about as opposed to using the phrase alien abduction. The stories are eerily similar to what we all pretty much constitute as an alien abduction to this day. And a couple of the ones that he did investigate, everybody has heard of. Probably the two most popular alien abductions of all time. One being the Betty and Barney Hill case from 1961, which he sort of did in a cursory format. He didn't really dive deep into the Betty and Barney Hill case because at the time that it became sort of public knowledge was in the throes of him starting to be disgruntled with the Air Force and the Air Force trying to end Project Blue Book. So it was sort of an after the fact investigation that he had done with the Hills. But one that he did do was the Travis Walton incident from 1975. Those are probably the two most famous alien abduction cases. And they're kind of different because most people think about alien abduction as laying in bed and aliens come into your room and take you up into your spaceship. That's sort of the quintessential thought processes people have about alien abduction. But the Hill abduction and the Travis Walton incident didn't happen in their bedrooms. They both happened out in the open. One case with 6 other witnesses to the event, and then the other one was out on the road, but Betty and Barney were abducted by aliens in their car or from their car. Not necessarily from their car, they pulled over, but it wasn't in the middle of the night succumbing to sleep paralysis, nor was the Travis Walton case. So I could talk a lot about those two cases as far as close encounters of the fourth kind, or I could talk about other famous ones like the Pascagoula abduction that I talked about a few weeks ago on this podcast.